As the 2026 Motogp season edges closer, one name is already dominating paddock whispers. Toprak Razgatlioglu. The Turkish superstar arrives with a reputation forged in the ferocious battles of world superbikes, armed with an aggressive, spectacular riding style that many have described as nothing short of acrobatic. But as anticipation builds, so too does tension. Is MotoGP about to witness the rise of a generational talent? Or the humbling of a phenomenon? Pre-season testing has only intensified the intrigue. The stopwatch tells one story, body language in the garage tells another. Behind the scenes, respected voices have begun urging caution. Among them is former Moto2 regular Mattia Pasini, who has offered a candid assessment of the man set to make his long-awaited MotoGP debut in 2026. This is not a question of talent. No one. Least of all, Pasini. Doubts that. The real question is whether raw brilliance honed in WorldSBK can immediately translate into consistency and control in the most technically demanding category in motorcycle racing. Razgatlioglu, the WorldSBK champion and now a rider for Pramac Racing on Yamaha machinery, has built his reputation on a spectacular riding style. Extreme braking, dramatic rear-wheel slides, impossible saves. His approach has often looked closer to stunt riding than circuit racing. Pasini himself was unequivocal. I agree. Toprak has extraordinary talent. His riding style is almost acrobatic. Indeed, few riders in recent memory have combined aggression and control quite like Razgatlioglu. In Superbikes, that fearless approach frequently overwhelmed rivals. He rides, as Pasini colourfully put it, with the intensity of a mad dog, relentlessly hungry, relentlessly attacking. But here lies the double-edged sword. In WorldSBK, that instinctive aggression can be decisive. In MotoGP, it can be destabilising. At the recent pre-season test in Sepang International Circuit, Razgatlioglu showed steady improvement across sessions. His lap times dropped progressively, demonstrating adaptability and work ethic. Yet the headline statistic remains: he did not break into the top 10. For a rider arriving amid huge expectations, that matters. Pasini observed that Razgatlioglu appeared to struggle not merely with the circuit, but with the broader adaptation process. MotoGP is a radically different ecosystem compared to WorldSBK. The carbon brakes, Michelin tyres, aero packages, ride height devices, and the unforgiving sprint race format demand a complete recalibration of riding philosophy. Coming to tracks he doesn't know and understanding himself in this new environment, it's all new, Pasini explained. And therein lies the crux. MotoGP is not simply faster, it is less forgiving. One of Pasini's most pointed observations concerns the structure of modern MotoGP weekends. There is no room for gentle adaptation. In today's format, a poor Friday session can effectively compromise an entire Grand Prix. Direct entry into Q2 hinges on immediate pace. Riders must be competitive from the very first session. In MotoGP, if FP1 goes badly, you've already thrown the weekend away, Pasini warned. This is a critical cultural difference from Superbikes, where riders often have more breathing space across the weekend to build rhythm. In MotoGP, hesitation is punished. For a rider transitioning from another championship, the mental adjustment may be as demanding as the technical one. Pasini was blunt in describing the gulf between the categories. Not many people can be solid after moving from Superbike to MotoGP. The level now is even higher. Both the riders and the bikes, they are two different worlds. He is not exaggerating. The current MotoGP grid represents arguably the deepest field in history. The margins are microscopic. The engineering complexity is extreme. Every tenth matters. Every mistake is magnified. Razgatlioglu's arrival has been framed by some as a potential revolution. The man who could turn everything upside down. But Pasini issued a clear caution. Expecting immediate domination is unrealistic and dangerous. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Pasini's comments is the psychological warning. Razgatlioglu arrives with enormous hype. He is viewed as a savior figure for some fans, a disruptor capable of shaking up the establishment. That narrative can quickly become a burden. "You must stay grounded," Pasini insisted. "Everything takes time. If he arrives thinking it will be easy, it could end traumatically." The early signs at testing, according to Pasini, already hinted at frustration. Razgatlioglu came in believing he could immediately do crazy things, but the reality proved more complex. This is not failure. It is adaptation. But in a paddock as politically charged and performance-obsessed as Motogp, patience is rarely abundant. From a technical perspective, Razgatlioglu's braking style will be under the microscope. In WorldSBK, he often exploited the strengths of production-based machinery with spectacular front-end commitment. Motogp's prototype bikes, however, demand precise management of tyre temperature and aerodynamic stability. If he tempers his instinct and embraces data-driven evolution, he could become one of the grid's most electrifying competitors. If he attempts to overpower the bike from the outset, frustration may follow. The mad dog mentality Pasini described is both his greatest weapon and his greatest vulnerability. Motogp rewards intelligence as much as bravery. There is no question that Razgatlioglu possesses rare talent. Few riders enter Motogp with such an aura. Few have produced such visually arresting performances in another premier championship. But the leap from WorldSBK to Motogp remains one of the most formidable transitions in modern motorsport. The paddock is watching closely. Will Toprak Razgatlioglu recalibrate and evolve into a title contender in time? Or will the weight of expectation combined with the unforgiving structure of Motogp weekends force him into uncomfortable lessons? One thing is certain, the 2026 season will not simply be a debut. It will be a defining examination of whether acrobatic brilliance can survive and thrive in the most ruthless arena in motorcycle racing. What makes this situation even more compelling is the political undercurrent quietly swirling through the paddock. Razgatlioglu is not just another rookie. He arrives as a WorldSBK champion, stepping directly into one of the most scrutinized garages on the grid. At Pramac Racing, expectations are never modest. Satellite teams today are fully capable of winning races, and that means patience can quickly evaporate if results do not match the narrative.